Um, we have to start by looking at the blood flow. Remember last time we are looking at the internal structure of the heart and its associated um, directions of flow of blood. So today let us look at how the blood flow in the heart. So our main question that we have to answer at the end should be how the blood flow in the heart. How does the flow of blood in the heart takes place? Let's start by revising these parts. These are the various parts of the heart that we looked at last time, and the arrows are showing the direction of flow of blood. So that's the diagram that will be referring to. So the right atrium, let's start with the right atrium. The right atrium receives blood coming from the body tissues through the vena cava. Remember, looking at the structure of the heart, remember the first arrow that was just entering into the vena cava. That arrow was showing that the blood is flowing from the vena cava into the right atrium, and that blood is coming from the rest of the body where metabolic processes have taken place. In the process, the blood is having carbon dioxide and having insufficient oxygen. So because it is having insufficient oxygen, then from the rest of the body through the vena cava into the right atrium, then the blood will descend into the ventricle. So the blood has very little oxygen and is described as deoxygenated blood. The blood from the rest of the body, which is joining the right atrium through vena cava, has very little oxygen and is described as deoxygenated blood because it is coming from the tissues where respiration has taken place, which means it has no oxygen, but it is having more carbon dioxide. Therefore, the color of the blood coming from the rest of the body is dull red in color. It is dull red. It has high concentration of carbon dioxide and appears dull red in color. Remember the color of the arrows that we had. This blood is then pumped into the right ventricle via tricuspid valve. We have the two valves with their flaps. We have the tendons attached to those valves. Those tendons that we say they are valve tendons. So the blood from right atrium will be pumped into the right ventricle via valve. When the right ventricle is full, the pressure builds up in the right ventricle. When the pressure builds up, the volume reduces. As the volume is reduced, it means there will be a pressure exerted on the blood. So the pressure exerted on the blood will force blood into the pulmonary artery, and this blood from the pulmonary artery will pass through semilunar valves at the opening of this artery, and this semilunar valve will prevent a backflow of blood into the right ventricle. The blood will be forced into the pulmonary artery, passing through semilunar valves. The semilunar valves will be closing to prevent the backflow of blood into the right ventricle. So we have the tendons that hold the valves in closed position, preventing them from turning into the atria. The pulmonary artery carries blood to the lungs. Remember, this blood is deoxygenated. This blood has very little oxygen. This blood has high concentration of carbon dioxide. So this blood has to be taken to the lungs. So to the lungs, it is where it will be oxygenated. In the lungs, blood is oxygenated and is blood red in color. So after reaching the lungs, the blood will leave there the carbon dioxide. Remember, this blood had a high concentration of carbon dioxide. So it means carbon dioxide will be diffusing from the blood into the alveolar spaces of the lungs, while the oxygen will be diffusing from the alveolar spaces into the blood. So there will be an exchange of gases in the alveolus. Carbon dioxide taken out of the blood, oxygen diffusing into the blood. After receiving the oxygen, it is said to be oxygenated and it looks bright red in color. Then it goes to the left atrium of the heart via pulmonary artery. It goes to the left atrium of the heart via pulmonary artery after receiving oxygen from the lungs. Then it will go back to the lung, will be back to the heart through the pulmonary vein. Mind you, in the heart there are the veins and the arteries. It is always true that the arteries take blood away from the heart. The arteries will always take blood away from the heart, while the veins will always pump blood into the heart. The question can be why. The simple answer should be the arteries pump blood with high pressure, the veins pump blood with low pressure. So it means those that pump blood with high pressure should direct the blood to the rest of the body, because if it is pumped towards the heart, then it can break the muscles of the heart. So it is always true that the arteries should pump blood away from the heart. So the pulmonary vein, though it is carrying oxygenated blood, but this blood is taken to the heart. The secretion of blood from the heart to the lungs and back to the heart is called pulmonary secretion. That one is pulmonary secretion. The left atrium pumps blood into the left ventricle via the bicuspid valve. The left atrium pumps blood into the left ventricle via the bicuspid valve. So the blood is descending into the left ventricle from left atrium via bicuspid valves. Then the left ventricle, which has thicker muscles, will pump blood to all parts of the body except the lungs. The blood which is in the left ventricle will be pumped to the rest of the body by the left ventricle due to the build-up of pressure in these ventricles. We mentioned in the last class that once the left ventricle is full of blood, the volume reduces, the pressure increases, then the blood will be pumped out of this left ventricle. And because the left ventricle is thicker, Because the left ventricle is thicker, it means there will be a higher pressure exerted on this blood. So this blood exerted with higher pressure by the thicker walls of the left ventricle will be sent into the aorta. So the aorta is the main artery, and this aorta has a large lumen, so it is receiving a large amount of blood which is to be pumped to the rest of the body. The same lunar valves that open to aorta prevents backflow of the blood. In the aorta we have semilunar valves. These valves prevent the backflow of blood. So the secretion of blood from the heart to the tissues and back into the heart. Secretion of blood from the heart to the tissues and back to those tissues is called systemic secretion. That one is secretion. Then let us finish by looking at the pace rate. The pace rate, that's the average number of heartbeats of a person per minute. Pace rate is the average number of heartbeats of a person per minute, and the normal average heartbeats of an adult is 72 beats per minute. An adult will have 72 beats per minute, and this pace rate will vary based on the activity in which the person is engaged at a given time. So the pace rate will increase during a vigorous activity. It will increase during the vigorous activity, and you can measure this pace rate. You can be felt by putting a finger at the wrist. If you put your finger at wrist or side of the neck and on top of your foot on the artery, you can easily note the pace rate, how the blood flows in your arteries. That's the pace rate. So that's the end of our lesson today. Next time we'll be looking at the structure and functions of arteries, veins, and the capillaries. Arteries, the veins, and the capillaries. Thank you for paying attention. See you next time.